All right, let's work on problem situation 2 of lesson 1.5. So in class today, I asked you to make a guess at some dimensions of the room, and I had mentioned a couple of my guesses. So the length of the room, I guessed it was about 20 feet as my first guess. And for meters, I'm going to say that's about 6. And for the area, well, I'm thinking that it looks around the same length and width. So I'm going to guess it's 20 by 20. So that would be about 400 square feet. And then for the volume, to get a box here for the room, so I think it's about 20 feet by 20 feet. I'm going to guess 10 feet because that's an easy number to multiply by. So if I multiply that by 10, I'm going to get 4,000, and that's cubic feet. As far as meters go, if I thought that was 20 and that was 20 and this was 6 meters, then that's probably about 6 meters too. And that would be about half that. So that would be about 3 meters. So 6 times 6 is 36. 36 times 3 is 90, and 18 for 108. And you should check that on a calculator. So those are my guesses for the classroom that I was in. Then we were asked to actually measure. Now, if you're not in the classroom, I recommend that you do the room you're in. So you'll have slightly different measurements, or you could go off the measurements we had. Now let's see. Oh, this asks for meters, but we ended up measuring in feet. So we're going to have to do a conversion for that. So we found that this was about 21 feet across. And then I believe the other measurement was about 24 feet. This one says feet, so we're good there. And we measured it to be about 9 feet in class. And I can't find the square meters in the room until I find that right there. So we need to figure out how do we change some number of feet, like maybe 1 foot, to meters. And I don't believe that's in our cheat sheet. Let's see, we have inches to centimeters, but we don't have feet to meters. We have feet to inches, and we have meters to centimeters. So we have a few things that could be useful that we could put together. So we got that one, and that one, and that one. So to put those together, I could do something like, if I start with 1 foot, and I want to get rid of feet, I can use this first to convert to inches. And there are 12 inches in 1 foot. And the point of that is it tells me whether I multiply or divide by 12. And since it's in the numerator, that means I'm going to multiply by 12 to get inches. And this next one here will tell me how to get inches to centimeters. Inches is in the top here. It's got to go on the bottom there. Centimeters can go there. And 2.54 goes with centimeters. And that allows us to get rid of inches and have a number in centimeters. And then finally, I can use this one to get rid of centimeters and convert to meters. And it says there are 100 centimeters in a meter. So this tells me that for every foot, I should multiply by 12, multiply by 2.54, and divide by 100. Let's see what my calculator says about that. So given any foot or more, we should multiply by 12, multiply by 2.54, and divide by 100. So that means 1 foot is about 0.3048 meters according to those conversion factors. 0.3048. So I have a new thing to add to the table here. I can write in here that 1 foot equals or is about 0.3048 meters. And I'm going to use that. Oops, back here. Boom, boom. So to make that conversion happen, I'm going to multiply here. And I'm going to get rid of feet and convert to meters. And we just calculated that 1 foot is about 0.3 or 0.3048 meters. And I'm going to do the same thing for this one, and that's going to get me meters. So 21 times 0.3048, 6.4, I'm going to forget about the 0.08, and I also need to do the 24. I was thinking it was 6, it's 6.4. It's not a great estimate, but not too bad. 7.3, so 6.4, 7.3 approximately. So the room was about 6.4 meters one way and 7.3 the other way. And eventually, we're probably going to be asked about this, so I might as well convert now. What is 9 feet as meters? So let's see, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it right here. 9 feet multiply. Feet goes in, let's see. Same thing, right? Feet goes in the bottom. Meters goes in the top. 0.3048. Not much has changed, just a different number. 2.7-ish, go with that. So it turns out 9 feet is about 3.7 meters. 3.74, I'm gonna go with 3.7, and I guess I should be clear up here. These are meters and meters, like we were asked for. And then we want square meters. Area, remember, is length times width. Oops, area. And we're asked for the square meters, so I should take my 6.4 meters times the 7.3 meters, and that's going to give me some number of meters squared, which can also be looked at as square meters. Remember, M is meter, MI is mile. Let's not confuse those. 6.4 times 7.3, 46.72. So up here, we've got 46.72 square meters, or meters squared. All right, so here's my work to go with it. And remember the philosophy, anytime you use your calculator, you should write down what you did. Let's say I might as well fill this in. We found that 1 foot was 0.3-ish meters. All right, so we've got question number 8. Again, question number 8 actually wanted measurements, but we measured in feet, so we had to measure and convert measurement and then this calculation based on the measurements. If you're doing your own room, you're going to have slightly different numbers. All right, next, wrong button. Let's try that button. Use dimensional analysis and the information above to determine these lengths showing your work. All right, the length of the room in feet. Okay, now I worked that backwards. I went from meters to feet. So I kind of already have that. So let's just reverse engineer that. So if we start off with a length of, let's see, which one would be my length? The 6.4 meters. We have a new conversion factor that, let's see, 1 foot is equal to 0.3048 meters. And so if I want to convert this back, I would multiply by meters in the bottom, feet in the top. 1 foot goes with 0.3048. And so since the 0.3048 is in the denominator, that means I must divide by it to make my conversion. So here, if I take 6.4 and divide by 0.3048, I should get about 20.997. That's pretty close to 21. I get about 21 feet. And for the height, let's see, I actually already wrote, oops, that back here. There's my calculation for the feet to meters on that one. So I don't think I need to repeat that, but I could. We started off with a 9-foot height, and then we want to get rid of feet and change to meters. So feet has to go on the bottom because it starts here in the top. And the 0.3 goes with meters, so it goes on the top this time. 1 foot in the bottom, and multiplying those two, according to my calculator earlier, is about 3.7 meters. Don't forget to label everything. All right, above you calculated the area of the floor in square meters. Convert that area to square feet using dimensional analysis. There's lots of ways to do this depending on the units you were given. So let's see. We are going to start with our square meter and change to square feet. So let's back up to find that. All right, 46.72 square meters. So we're starting with 46.72 meters squared. We want to convert that to feet squared. Make sure I wrote that correct. Yeah, 46.72. All right, so we have to find some way to get rid of meters squared, to convert to something else. Well, I don't think I have anything written down about that. Let's go look back at our chart. Let's see, area, they have square miles to square kilometers, acres to hectares, square meters over here to hectares. So we could use a combination of these, but I think this conversion we did right there is going to help. Here's how. All right, so side note here, let's see, we established earlier that 0.3048 meters is equal to 1 foot, pretty close. I want that to be square meters and square feet, and so the trick is just square both sides. So if I do that, 1 times 1 is 1, right? 1 squared means 1 times 1, and feet squared is just feet squared. Here, I would have to figure out what is 0.3048 squared, and that's going to give me meters squared, so I just need a calculator to figure that out. And then I have a new conversion factor. So calculator, what happens if I take 0.3048 and raise it to the second power? I get 0.0929. So this had 4 decimal places. I might as well hold on to 4 decimal places. So 0.929. So 1 square foot is about 0.0929 square meters. And we could flip that to go the other way. Like, what if we had 1 square meter? How many square feet would that be? And that just throws this stuff upside down. So just for fun, alternate calculation. Let's see. I think I just want to do 1 divided by that answer. And that tells me there are about 10.8-ish or 10.76 square feet in a square meter. Let's just go 1 decimal. We'll go 2 decimal places. Then we have 4 digits, 10.76. All right, so alternatively, if I flip these right here, one meter squared is about 10.76 feet squared. And that seems reasonable. A meter is a little over 3 feet. 3 times 3 is 9. If it's a little over 3, then 3 plus a little times 3 plus a little should be 10-ish. Sure, I'll buy that. That seems reasonable. So I have a couple of conversion factors. Either one's going to work out reasonably well. I'm going to go with the red one. I want to change from meters squared to feet squared. And I have that if I have 1 foot, squared, then that would be 0.0929 meters squared. And then again, the whole point of this tells me to divide by that conversion factor. Calculator, 46, let's see, yeah, 46.72. And we want to divide that by the 0.0929. And looks like I typed that correctly, so I'm going to get 502.9 or 503-ish. So I'm just going to go 503 for the heck of it. And again, meters squared or square meters is gone, and so this is the answer in square feet or feet squared. Let's see. Now, we happen to have measured the room in feet. So again, I was asked to do this by conversion, and that's the answer I get. Side note, we happen to measure the room to be pretty close to 21 feet by 24 feet. So if we multiply 21 by 24, that will give us feet squared. Let's see what that is. Should be pretty darn close. 21 times 24, 504. That's not bad. We've got some rounding error, is why they don't match. Not a problem. Oops, wrong order. There we go, 504 feet squared. All right, but this is what I was asked to do here. And in order to make this calculation right here, I had to create a conversion between meters squared and feet squared. And to make that, I had to create a conversion from feet to meters that wasn't already in my table. All right, what do we got next? We want to find the volume of the room in feet cubed. Well, we've converted everything, so that's not bad. Volume is just length times width times height. And we measured for the classroom a length of 21 feet times a width of 24 feet times a height of 9 feet. And feet times feet times feet gives us feet cubed, which can also be called cubic feet. And we just need to multiply those three numbers. 21 times 24 times 9, 4,536. Cubic feet. What did I guess it was? Way back in the beginning, I guessed it was around 4,000. Hey, that's around 4,000. I'll take it. Not too bad. A little underestimate on my part. But it's not like I walked it out. I just looked around. And I'm lucky my foot in most shoes is pretty close to 12 inches. All right, next. Use dimensional analysis to convert cubic meters into cubic meters, the volume we just calculated, in cubic feet. Okay, so let's see. We're going to do this in a couple of different ways. So I'm starting off with, let's see, 4,536. So 4,536 feet cubed. And I need to multiply this by something to get rid of feet cubed and convert to meters cubed. And there are several multi-step processes to this. I'm going to show a two-step process for this. I'm just going to go back to what we calculated earlier, that 1 foot is about equal to 0.3048 meters. And to make those cubic feet and cubic meters, we're just going to cube each side. Well, 1 cubed is 1 times 1 times 1. That's still 1. And feet cubed is feet cubed, or cubic feet. On the other side, oops, there's my cube, I have to cube this 0.3 number, which will give me a cubic meter measurement. All right, so let's try it. Calculator, please. All right, so 0.3048 raised to the third power gives me 0.02. I'll go with 4 decimal places like before, 0.0283. Now, if you don't like that decimal number and you want a whole number instead, well, we can flip these, and that would give us 1 meter cubed is some number of feet cubed. And so to flip that on my calculator, I'm just going to do 1 divided by that decimal. It gives me about 35.3. So alternatively, we can say 1 meter cubed is about 35.3 feet cubed. So we have a couple of different ones we can use. I'm going to use the red one since it's the first one I found. So up here, 1 cubic foot is 0.0283. And this one, I'm going to double check I wrote that correctly. 0.0283. Yeah, looks right. And so this tells me that to get rid of feet cubed, I'm going to do that multiplication here, and that'll give me meters cubed. So let's try that. So we have our 4,536, so 4,536 cubic feet. And I want to multiply that by my new conversion factor, which converts cubic feet to cubic meters, and that would be 0.0283, and that's going to give me about 128.4 if we went to 1 decimal place there. So 128.4. And that would be cubic meters. Now, how am I going to check that? Well, we did conversions back here of feet and cubic, individual feet and individual meters. So I can check that by just multiplying my 6.4, 7.3, and 3.7. Now, previously, I was guessing it was 6 by 6 by 3, or 108. And I can see, one more page, my estimate was a little low, just like my estimate with feet was a little low. So I'm going to check this by going to my first conversions of feet and just take length times width times height in meters. And I think it was what, 6.4, 7.3, and 3.7. I'm not sure about that. Let's go back and look in the notes. 6.4, 7.3 times 3.7. So again, I am multiplying the length in meters by the width in meters by the height in meters. So 6.4, 7.3 times 3.7. 6.4, 7.3, 3.7. Those are all in meters, so that should give me meters cubed, and it should be pretty close to 128. It won't be exactly the same because we got lots of rounding going on here. All right, let's see if it works. 6.4 times 7.3 times 3.7, 172. Holy crap, that's way off. So Gary made a mistake somewhere. Interesting. You're probably all watching the video saying, oh, I saw the mistake. So now I have to find it. All right, so let's do a couple things here. I'm going to pull this over there for a sec, put this back there, and just review some things. All right. Oh, wrong button. I want this guy back. No, stop it. This one. All right, put you there. You can move. All right, 6.4, 7.3, and 3.7. That comes out to 172. Okay, alternatively, let's see, did I get this 4536 right? Let's see, that's 21 times 24 times 9, 4536. Okay, and then I have my 0.0283 here, which came from my 0.3048 cubed. That looks okay too. So I'm multiplying these two to convert cubic feet to cubic meters. And that says it should be 128. Did I type those right? Yeah. Wow, that rounding error shouldn't be that bad. 172 versus 128. Now, if it was 127, that'd be more like it. So maybe something went wrong up here in those calculations. Well, they're just further back in Desmos. Let's go back and look. All right, 24 times 0.3048 is 7.3-ish, sure. 21 times 0.34 is 8, that's 6.4, so that's feet to meters. And then 9, 2.7. Huh, I don't see the mistake yet. All right, I guess bonus to anyone, first one to write to me and find my mistake here. Fascinating. So this comes out on my calculator to be not about, and it's about, I'm rounding, 172 point, I'll just write the 864, and that is meters cubed, and these two should be about the same, and they're not. Huh, big question mark. All right, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. One of them's right, and one of them's wrong. Next. A human breathes about 10 liters of air each minute while being fairly still. Interesting. 10 liters per minute. How many cubic feet do we breathe in an hour? All right, so we need to change 10 L as liters per minute into some number of cubic feet per hour. All right, minutes to hours, that's going to be easy. Liters to cubic feet, that's going to be a bit of work. All right, so let's collect some things to do that. Liters to cubic feet. So I need to go back and review the cheat sheet. Liters. Okay, here's liters there. So I'm going to need that. So I'm just going to borrow this whole thing. Put it in here. Okay, what can we use here? Okay, we've got liters to quarts. That could be useful. Ooh, liters to cubic meters, and there's cubic feet. So we know a relationship between cubic feet and cubic meters. All right, so this one is looking helpful. Not sure about quarts, because quarts, I don't see any relationship between quarts and cubic feet here. I think that's probably what we're going to do. Because once we have cubic meters, we can convert to cubic feet, because we have a conversion factor for that. Yeah, let's give it a try. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of this for the moment and start trying. So let's see. First, I'm going to use this fact right here to get rid of liters. So liters in the top, liters goes in the bottom. This converts liters to meters cubed. And it says that 1,000 liters is 1 cubic meter. Okay, that gets rid of liters and gives us cubic meters. Then I want to get rid of meters cubed, and we have a conversion fraction to get us to feet cubed from earlier, right here. Zero two eight three to 1. So that'll get rid of the meters cubed. So that gives me the feet cubed I want, right? Cubic feet, feet cubed. And then minutes to hours. So minutes is in the bottom. So that means minutes has to go in the top here. Hours can go in the bottom. And there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. And that should get rid of minutes. And that leaves us cubic feet per hour, which is what we were asked to do here. So hopefully you know how to take this and plug it into your calculator to get an answer. I'm going to leave that to you. And then we have the discrepancy between these two answers here that I'm going to have to get back to you on later. Thanks for playing. You'll hear from me soon. Have a good day.